Hi, BookTube. Good morning. It's Gina. How are you today? I am having a little bit of a rough day. And so I was watching YouTube videos this morning, and I watched one from Kim at the Paper Traveler on why she loves physical books. And it is the best video. You guys, I will link it down below. I also linked it on my community tab because I think everybody should go watch this video. It's so good. Kim just talks about the reasons that she loves physical books. She's got a gorgeous library. Her books, she's got the prettiest editions. It's just a really good video. And so I wanted to just encourage everyone to go over and watch it. But then I also thought, you know what will cheer me up a little bit is if I just sit down and talk to you about some of my favorite books and why I love physical books. Just as an aside, I'm having a hard day because my cat Getty, our little long-haired Siamese / Balinese, he's got pancreatitis, he's got some health issues, he's very skinny, and we're always trying to fatten him up, and he's not been doing well for the last couple days. So I called the vet this morning. I took him in. They're going to keep him and watch him today and do some tests. So I'm just waiting for that. And I thought, while I'm waiting to see how that goes, I will just sit down and talk to you about some of my favorite books. I've got some of my favorite books behind me. This area here is really mostly my favorite books, except for, and there goes Bunny, except for my favorite books, my Rosamund Pilchers, my misreads, which I have in a room that doesn't really get any sun because this room, you've probably seen it before. It's gorgeous. We've got these absolutely gigantic and beautiful windows that go all the way up this really high, beautiful ceiling. I absolutely love this room. But what that means is that different times of year, it's different, but the sun comes in. I don't have any curtains on that top window. The sun comes in and works its way around, and it is bright when it's bright, and tilt you back a little bit. And I didn't want those books to get sun damaged. So the books in here I love. They're my favorites, but they're not necessarily my two favorites, which are those two authors. So I thought, let's just start with this bookshelf, because this is my middle grade, some random fantasy, and then let's see, I've got my shelf of classics there, and then I've got some like slip-covered signed editions that I got when I was doing a couple of those first edition book clubs during the pandemic to support some of my local bookstores. And I just love my books. Now, the other side of this room is the other bookshelf, and I will maybe flip you around in a second and show you some more of those books. And my husband is a guitar and a stereo person, so that is why you see how it's stereo stuff, those giant speakers, and his guitar. He's got lots of guitars. He's a collector. But let's talk about some of my favorite books. So I have like Kim, there's a variety of reasons that I love physical books. Now, I also love my Kindle. You guys know I love my Kindle. I use my Kindle all the time. I definitely read more on my Kindle than I do out of physical books. For a variety of reasons, I've gotten used to it over the years. It's so easy, it's so comfortable. I read a lot in bed. I'm trying this year, now that I'm retired, to read my Kindle, something cozy in bed, and then read a physical book when I'm down here sitting around reading during the day, which I never used to be able to do. So I'm trying to read physical books a little bit more. And I love my physical books because, one, they're beautiful, and I'll show you some of my favorites. Well, let's just start with this one. Look at this. So this is these old vintage Harlequins, which I absolutely love. So I collect these. Somebody asked me in a recent video, do you collect those Harlequins because you want to read them or because of the covers? And it was a good question. I collect them because both. Mostly for the covers, though, if I'm being completely honest. I saw this huge stack, and I bought them. I've had a friend send me another huge stack, and look at this. So I've got this giant stack over here. Let me show you this. This is gonna be a really rambly, weird video, you guys, I'm sorry. So here is my stack of Harlequins right here. I have another stack in the other room that is just as tall as that one, but they look gorgeous. They're vintage, they're beautiful. They remind me that I need to pick them up. So one of the things, in addition to just the way they look, is having physical books around reminds me that I need to read them. Sometimes I don't keep a TBR paper list anywhere. And so sometimes buying a book, even though ultimately I end up checking it out at the library on my Kindle, it reminds me that I want to read it. So I've got a stack. Okay, here we go again. We're on the move again, you guys. I've got a stack down here of the books that I want to read for middle grade March, March Mystery Madness, and March of the Mammoths. And so here, let's sit down here for a second. And so having a stack right here reminds me that I want to read these. So even if I don't end up reading this, so I've got this chunkster on hold at the library on my Kindle. I'm hoping that comes in soon. It's got a long wait on it, so it may not. But this book's not too heavy, but the font's fairly small. It's fairly big. And so it's going to be more comfortable to read this on my Kindle. But I love having the paper book. I love the way this looks. I love the way this feels. And I also love, in this instance, that I bought this from an independent, small bookstore. And I got to support a company, a bookstore that I really appreciate and enjoy and want to keep in business. So I love physical books because I can support my local bookstores. Also, I love book shopping, and going to thrift stores, hunting for books is such a thrill for me. Absolutely love it. I would say that I am a bit of a book collector. I love having books around me, even if I don't end up reading all of them. I love having piles of books. I love looking at them. I love having them around. Just makes me super happy. So for instance, here is, look at this, Barbara Pym. This is Crampton Hodnet. And look how pretty this book is. It's gorgeous. It's got this really fun artistic cover. I love Barbara Pym. I've got a bit of a Barbara Pym collection, which is right here. So I've got some of these beautiful hardbacks. I've got these, this edition. This is not Penguin, but look how pretty. That's similar to the hardback, but in a floppy paperback. But I generally read these on my Kindle because they're so cozy, and I like to read them in bed. But I've also, look at these. Look at this box edition. Isn't that cute? So I don't know. Books make me so happy. They look so pretty. They are so much fun to buy, so much fun to collect. I can't stop myself. Here's another one. Look at this. So I will probably never, ever read this edition. I'm pretty positive I will never read this edition. I've got a few of these editions, and I love them. I'll keep buying them when I find them, or sometimes I've gotten a couple as gifts, and they're so special to me. These are the Marjolaine Baston editions, and they've got the ephemera in them. You guys have probably all seen these, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. Will I ever read this edition? Probably not, but the cover is so pretty. The artwork inside is so gorgeous. It makes me so happy just to know that this book is on my shelf. And so I love it. I love it for the looks. I love it because, let's see, this one I bought for myself, but I do have a couple that were gifts and they're so special to me. Did I buy this one for myself? Now I don't remember. I wish what I'm going to start doing if somebody sends me a book is I need to put a sticky in it with who sent it to me and when it was, because I have a terrible memory and I forget. So the other thing that I love about books is that I've got so many that hold really special memories for me. And when I look at them, it reminds me of something really, really good. And this is one of those books. This is The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. This is the edition that I read when I was 9, going on 10. And I remember exactly where I was because it was a really special time in my life. I was on a trip with some family members that are very, very dear to me. I've told the story before. I don't remember where that video is. If I can find it, I will link it down below. But look at this. It was probably my little sister coloring in this book, or I might have gotten it that way when I bought it. I don't remember where this book was purchased. Probably my mom bought it, but I remember exactly where I was and what was going on in my life when I read this book. And so that's another reason why I love books. They're so special. They can contain so many wonderful special memories, and it just makes me so happy. I will never get rid of this book. If I ever lose it, I'll be sad, but it's just a thing. But it's a beautiful thing, a really special thing, and I just love it. I love it so much, which reminds me I'm probably going to do a reread of this because this is one of my favorite books, and I've reread it quite a few times on my Kindle usually. I don't actually read this edition very often. Kim also showed some books that she has duplicates of, and her biggest, I think, collection of duplicates is of The Hobbit. And I have, let's see, I do have a couple of editions of The Hobbit. You guys know I love The Lord of the Rings. I should do a reread of The Hobbit because I haven't reread that one. I don't reread that one as much as I reread the Lord of the Rings, but I'm probably due for a reread of that. And I do have the paperback editions, 2 sets of The Lord of the Rings, both of the editions. I'm not going to grab them because you guys have seen them before, but I own those. I do love to just collect my favorites. And here, let me show you I'm going to show you just on this shelf here, because this is another one of my favorite shelves. This is my Iris Murdoch. I went through an Iris Murdoch phase back in the 90s, and I bought all of these beautiful hardback editions and a lot of these orange spine penguins. I've got these in paperbacks. I just love these. I haven't read these in years. I have not read these since the 90s. Maybe I should do a reread because I loved them back then. I vacillate between thinking Iris Murdoch is a genius and, on the other hand, perhaps a pretentious pile of poo. I go back and forth. I think she's a little bit of both of those things. Also, A.S. Byatt. I've got an A.S. Byatt collection here, which I also love, which I also have not read since the 90s. So here we are. I'm just collecting away. Okay. And then we sort of already talked about having books to remind me to read them, but here's my little pile of books. So I've got a little pile of coffee table books that are some of my favorites. At Home with Books, I flip through this a lot. The Sensual Home. I love a cozy home. I love decorating. And so I have a lot of those sort of cozy home books. And then here, so this is a perfect example. I am reading P.D. James' The Murder Room. I started it on the paper edition. I'm reading it now on my Kindle, and maybe I'll go back to the paper edition. But this reminds me that I'm reading this, even though I'm probably not reading this paper edition really anymore. So, you know, I go back and forth. I do love my Kindle, but I love my physical book. Oops, sorry, we're very lopsided. This is going to be a little bit of a crazy video today, but I do love I love my paper books so much, and I wanted to share that with you. I want to encourage you to go watch Kim's video because she was so exuberant and so excited, and it was wonderful seeing her and her love of books. If you have a channel, I would love to see you do a little tour of your favorite books. And I will do a tour of my favorite books, my Miss Read and my Rosamund Pilcher books. Maybe I'll do a tour of those soon. I did do a short, and so you can sort of see my collection. But yeah, I hope that you've got some fun reading plans coming up this weekend, and I will talk to you on the next video.